Hi, Booze.
Hey, everybody.
Lauren here.
And Ben.
And we're back.
Yes.
Everybody, first off, everybody who tuned in to the live.
Last night was our live.
So much fun. The Goosebumps recap live show pizza party. It was so much fun.
Find a good place to put this.
I know.
Okay.
You made our Friday nights.
Yes, that was so much fun last night. Thank you for that.
We've
been talking about it ever since.
Yes, we're talking
it's
about
now
it ever
Saturday
since.
morning,
it was last night, so
yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, we talked about it last night. We talked about it this morning.
Yeah. But
we need more water.
For today's video, we wanted to give you some recs because I want to do recs. We got to take advantage of October. It's spooky season.
Spooky season is when we
can catch newbies to the genre.
Yep.
So today we want to do some recs featuring one of the scariest monster, I believe, of all monsters, the alien.
Yep.
Because I feel like they are so scary because I think they're real. I mean, I think it's
You think they're real and you wonder if they're already here. You're in that camp, right?
That's, I don't know. I don't know my opinion on that, but I do think that is terrifying to think.
This is making me think there's one more book that I want to grab, so I will be right back.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, swamp monsters or cryptids. I don't know. They seem less real to me, for whatever reason that is. But the aliens,
I'm definitely of the mindset that it's hard to imagine the size of the universe as we know it. That there is not intelligent life somewhere else.
Right. I think it's pretty close-minded. To think that. But so that's why they're my favorite, and I think they're so underutilized.
You say that.
Yeah.
But you decided that you wanted to do this video where we were going to pick some books and make alien book recommendations, partly because it feels like there aren't enough. It wasn't that hard to come up with a list, was it?
No, it wasn't. And
it makes me wonder, is there really not that many alien books, or do they just not come to mind? Is there some sort of block there, like some Men in Black? The aliens are erasing your memory because you're reading about them.
Ooh, that's an interesting.
Cue the X-Files
music. Can we start off that who we don't have on this list at all, and I think is a disservice, was Whitley Strieber.
Whitley Strieber. Because
I feel like he's very big into the aliens.
I don't know much about him. I think I've read one of his that was not alien related, but what I do know, I'm gonna paraphrase this and probably do it poorly, but I believe that Whitley Strieber is a person who claims to have been abducted by aliens in real life.
Yes.
And I feel like critics of him say that once he started making those claims, his fiction writing went downhill fast. So,
well, I will say I DNF'd.
I don't know what that really means. Take it for what you will, but I believe that he's one of the people who claims that he was actually abducted by aliens.
He was, because that was the book I tried to read.
So how much of his books are written as fiction and how much of it is
true.
Something in between.
But anyway, enough about him.
Okay.
Let's start with a friend of ours
who we've talked about before.
Paul Tyndall, Hunting Snipe. This
I
book
feel
is
like
just
I've
so
heard
good.
you say the name of that book, the title of that book, at least 5 times a day for the last year.
Let me just get you the grabby part here, right off the back. It uses news articles, podcast transcripts, text messages, a private investigator's burn journal, and more to tell the story of true events that occurred across multiple East Texas counties in 2023.
Has a very strong
the podcast.
Found footage feel.
Very strong. And it's based
sort of
on true events.
As it's happening, not after the fact found footage.
Right.
So it's
So I think that's what's grabby about it. Anybody that likes multimedia in their books and based on true things, you can't go wrong with this one. And he's a great guy.
Yes. All right, so we both read this one.
Yes.
Darcy Coates' Parasite, which I believe was released as a serialized kind of thing, like a chapter at a time or maybe a novella length thing at a time originally, and then she compiled it into...
You can't go wrong with Darcy. She's a read to zero for me.
So you love Darcy. You've read tons of hers. I've read, I think, 3. I've enjoyed all the ones that I've read, but I think
that's your favorite.
This is my favorite. And what I will say about, she's known to be the queen of, cozy horror, which is not really my thing, and I haven't read enough of her to really...
I don't know that I'd call her cozy. I mean, she has happy endings, I guess. She has happy endings.
So, I mean, okay, I don't have beef with that, but I think that she is a master of atmospheric writing. And there were some scenes in this that seriously creeped me out. I think this is an underrated book as far as horror in general, not even
Mhm.
just aliens.
Mhm.
It has that moment where it's like people in space stations and there's someone outside the door
Mhm.
trying to get in that resembles somebody that
Mhm.
you know in the space station, but that person's already inside.
Mhm.
So like that's
Mhm.
creepy.
Very
That is
creepy. Very creepy.
very awesome book. And I love that scene.
Next up, look at this cover. Bent Heavens by Daniel Kraus. Now, this is marketed as YA. This is not YA, people.
It's intense.
This is dark.
Very dark.
And I don't know that I mean, we don't have a YA reader. We have a 6-year-old, but I would, I don't like YA.
The protagonist
and I liked this book.
And another main character are both like teenagers or preteen. I can't remember the exact age, but it's really dark.
So good.
And so good.
So good.
Daniel Kraus might be he's one of the best doing it right now. He's amazing.
He's a very good, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got, does he have
if
a
you
movie?
Have not read Daniel Kraus, you need
going to be a movie?
They're making Whale Fall into a movie. We've talked about that in a couple videos. We have talked about that,
but he's amazing.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Everything he writes is solid gold.
Yeah. You got
Okay. So I
need to read this one.
Michael Crichton is one of my Mount Rushmore authors. I consider him to be one of my top influences. The way that he takes hard science and makes it digestible,
look at the guy. Look at that handsome
readable.
Man there.
I've just always been a huge fan of everything of his, and I've been trying to get you to read this one
I need
for a
to
long
read that,
time.
because I've never read Michael Crichton. That is a huge
You need to read this, and you need to read Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But Sphere by Michael Crichton is a super underrated alien book. I think it's one of his best. And it's the premise that they discover what appears to be an alien spaceship at the bottom of the ocean. And as you find out later, it's not like it just crashed right now.
That sounds
been there
terrifying,
for a very long
because
time.
Me, personally, I will never go scuba diving.
Yes.
Anything deep sea, no. I'll jump out of an airplane.
Michael Crichton has this.
Go scuba diving.
He's a bit of a unicorn to me. He has this balance between storytelling and science that I don't think a lot of writers are able to achieve. So I will always recommend him.
Yeah. And then now this one, Mark Lukens. Is this indie published? It's called Sightings.
I think so.
Just classic.
Yeah, this is print on demand.
Okay.
So yeah.
Another indie. That's great. Yeah. I love supporting indies. We don't know Mark, but
I don't know him. I don't think I've read him because I didn't read this one.
But just classic take on, somebody disappeared in a cabin, and then 4 film students are gonna go check it out.
Sounds
love
like
that.
Blair Witch, but aliens.
I mean, I loved it. I loved it.
Sounds right up your alley.
Yes.
All right. This one.
We couldn't leave it out.
Lifetime favorite for me. My Teacher's an Alien by Bruce Coville.
Our middle grade fans.
This is another case of I bought myself a new copy from Half Price Books because it was like $2, and this is like almost pristine. My actual childhood copy has fallen apart to the point where I had to tape the cover back on. I read this book until it fell apart.
Look at that cover, guys.
It's part of a series. I'm the kind of person that I read things and then I don't remember them even very soon after. But there's a couple of scenes in this book that still I can conjure in my head right now, having read them for the first time 30-something years ago. So the whole series is great. The covers are so cool. There's new. They've obviously redone the covers, and I don't like the new covers. But My Teacher's an Alien by Bruce Coville. That's not the new cover. This is not. This is the original cover. Yeah. At least the one that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
But then it's like My Teacher fried my brains, and My Teacher flunked the planet, and My Teacher glows in the dark. It's just such a cool, fun series.
Yeah. And you got one more?
Yeah. So this, I had to go and grab this when you started talking about your personal take on aliens. So this was recommended to us by a friend of ours, Patrick McNulty.
Another amazing author.
An amazing author that we hang out with a lot.
He's trying to get more into thrillers, guys. So
we'll Patrick McNulty,
we'll tag him.
Bought this actually when we were at Dark Drafts last year. We went to Vortex Books in Pennsylvania, which is owned by Brian Keene and his wife, Mary. And so this is nonfiction. This is, I guess you'd call it a memoir written by the guy who used to be the head of the Department of Defense's.
Wasn't he in Blink 182 or something?
He now works for the guy from Blink 80, Mark Hoppus. Yeah. Anyway, the dude worked really high up in the government doing research on aliens, and this book has convinced me pretty much that aliens do exist. So I cannot recommend this book.
But you said it's pretty, like, you told me not to read that.
It's dense. It's dense.
Yeah.
There's a decent amount of science,
dry.
but I mean, if you can see, so these little Post-it notes, if you ever see me hold up a book that have Post-it notes sticking out, that means that I use this book to do research for something that I'm working on myself.
Okay.
But there's some
Which
physics.
that's a good lead into the next.
There's some physics in here that are really cool, and there's some very compelling arguments from somebody who has credibility to me based on their experience. But basically saying that aliens are real and the government's been covering it up. Okay. So if you are interested at all in that kind of subject matter, you will love this book. It's
good
called
for
Imminent
Nonfiction November
by Luis Elizondo.
I think Nonfiction November will happen. But yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a good lead in.
So me doing my research is a lead into.
You want to talk about?
I don't, but I will, because it always makes me uncomfortable.
Well, let us know, guys, if you want to hear about Ben's writing. Like, do we have writers? Well, I know we have authors following us.
Yeah.
Do you want to make this part of it?
One of the things that I love the most about interacting with people in these indie writing communities or in bookish communities is helping other people feel like they have the capability to write something themselves. If people tell me that they want to, I just instantly want to encourage that. So in the spirit of trying to encourage people to pursue that dream, we mentioned in a video recently about how I had quit writing at one point. So I'm one of those people. I don't think it's an uncommon experience. Early on as a kid, I enjoyed books to the point where I tried to write some stuff myself. I've wanted to be a writer for as long as I can remember. It was probably at this point like 17, 18 years ago. It was right around the time we got married. I didn't enjoy my job, and I thought, what if I could make a career as a writer? Because that's like one thing that I think would be, if I'm doing it for a living, I feel like I'm, I've achieved something. Like it doesn't feel like work. I would enjoy it. So I set out to try to write a novel. And it was a lot harder than I thought it would be. It took me a very long time, but I finally finished it. And I started trying to get it published. So I was submitting it to agents. I was submitting it to acquisitions editors. I did this for a very long time, and it didn't go well. I got a lot of no responses, or I would get rejections. And that's kind of part of the process that happens to everybody. So I also started trying to.
I gave you that book.
Write and
what was
submit
that book called?
Other people's rejection letters. Yeah, I still have that.
Was it famous people in there?
It was all kinds of stuff. It wasn't even just writing.
Check out that book, guys. It was fun.
I have that downstairs somewhere still.
Other people's rejection letters.
I have a shelf of like my writing. Books. Anyway, so I was trying to submit short stories to get published, and so basically it was a lot of rejection for a long time, which you expect. Like everyone tells you to expect that. But it got to a point where I had, I think, pinned my hopes all on this one agent who had finally responded, or had their assistant respond and say, this sounds really interesting, send it to me. I sent the full manuscript. That was like, I think the one and only time somebody requested it, and they rejected it too after. So it was just months and years of like no progress. And I, at that point, decided that means I'm not good enough at this. Clearly I should give it up. And I stopped trying. That also, I think the other thing that I skipped over is we at one point moved to New York. And we lived in New York, and I went to a writing class, and I met agents in person, and they rejected it too. So, but then we found this indie writing community, and I felt supportive, and it seemed like a platform where anybody that wants to can do it. And that's when I came back, and I self-published Stuck, and then I self-published Home. And since then, I've kind of been more. But
you do have another one that's like done. That you're querying
that
now.
I use this to research. Yeah. So there's a little bit of science fiction to it.
So you're back in you've gotten some rejections again.
Yes. So the point to all of that is, I'm going to paraphrase and butcher it, but Stephen King's advice about getting a bigger nail means something. Listen to it. So he, when he first started out, every time he got a rejection slip, he had a nail sticking out of the wall. He would put it on. Take it was a physical paper. He would put it on the nail.
That's cool. You should.
It got so heavy at one point that it fell out of the wall.
Yeah.
So he got a bigger nail. Yeah. So that's the point of the whole story. That whole rambling story is.
But the point of the whole rambling story is like, should we incorporate like where you writing updates with you, and like, would you guys be interested in that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
and we'd like to hear from like your stories too. But yeah.
I don't know that I'm qualified to give advice, but I'm happy to share my experiences.
I mean, yeah.
If people want to hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I can be more succinct next time, I guess, too.
Yeah. And lastly, should we shout out some
Yes.
More
So we
indies.
want to talk about our friend David Washburn for two reasons. One, because I just read this book. It's called DIY Exorcism.
I love this book. I told you to read it.
You told me to read it. I'd read another one of his, The Tickle Monster, before this and enjoyed it. But this, I told you as soon as I finished it, I think this is one of my favorite books of the year.
You did. This is such a good take on such a trope.
And I don't do tropes.
Yeah.
I typically, because to me it implies that it's almost like guaranteeing that it's going to be unoriginal because you're doing something that's been done a bunch of other times. This was one of the most original concepts I think I've ever read. And the ending was just so well done that it blew me away.
I told you.
So it's like, number one, it was super original despite using the exorcism trope. And number two, it completely subverted my expectations. And those are like my two favorite things, is when it's original and it is not what I expected it to be. Always makes for a good book. So, and the other reason is that he is going to be doing some signing events next weekend. For the Cincinnati Book Crawl.
We will be getting footage of the Cincinnati Bookstore Crawl.
He offered to support and promote our YouTube channel while he's doing that.
He's amazing.
So he has stickers and a t-shirt. So if you're in the area doing the bookstore crawl in Cincinnati, you'll find him and he'll be wearing our shirt.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
Thank you, David. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Bye, Booze.
Bye.